Welcome to episode 11 of my Sew and Tell. If you're new here, my channel is all about my crafty journey from week to week with a little bit of life thrown in, which my regular viewers obviously already know. So it's a bit of a video diary style of vlog I bring to you, and I'm doing this a little bit later in the week actually. Normally once I get a video up I start filming it almost daily, but it's actually Thursday the 16th of September and it is I've just heard something drop then. 5 to 4 in the afternoon. Now I've picked my youngest son up from school. My eldest is at work today, not college, and my middle son, he started college. Now there's a bit of a story. If you've watched my channel before, you'll know that I was home educating my middle son for nearly 4 years, and yeah, he's just took the leap. He would have left school if he'd have still been in school in the summer, so he's going into college the right time, but he's going to be doing his GCSEs, which he didn't get to do with not being in school in his last year. So he's doing those to start with, because if he does those he'll be able to get on better courses with passes and things. And it's actually his second day. He's there now, so I haven't got a huge amount of time because he's going to be coming out, and I thought I'll have a quick chat with you. What the reason I haven't done any videos sooner than today is because every time I've had a little bit of a chance to speak to you, I've had a headache, and I just don't know what it is this week. Maybe it's all the, the stress of, the college and making sure he gets up and everything. It's all a bit crazy at the moment. And my eldest son, who is a very independent boy, because he's learning to drive and got his own car. When he used to be quite happy just jumping on buses and off he went, he's always wanting to have lifts everywhere, so he gets to drive his car. So life with 3 teenage boys is actually very hectic, even though they're not, I know it's different with the babies and toddlers, but gosh, yeah, it hasn't slowed down at all. So anyway, we'll get on to the sewing, right? So I want to tell you about a dress repair that I've done. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is this might help you if you have a similar thing happen. Now, I've got this dress. It's a shop bought dress. I think it might be Lipsy. Yeah, Lipsy London by Love Michelle Keegan. And I think I bought it from Next. And I've had it many, many years. And I wore it quite a few times, actually. I wore it to my husband's friend's wedding. If I can find some photographs of me ever wearing this, I'll pop them on. I think when I used to wear this, my hair had got really, really dark. If you've watched my videos a while, I've been trying to get my hair a bit lighter, because I am like a natural blonde, but I just started having dark bits, and before you know it, it's like, jet black. So yeah, I've been trying to bring it back and try and get, it's probably not, mine is more, my dark bits are probably darker than this, but my blonde bits are probably lighter than this, if you can kind of gauge what I'd look a bit more like with no colour in my hair or whatever. So anyway, this is the dress, and it's just basically it's not like skin tight figure hugging, it just kind of skims you, like a pencil length kind of thing, with a bodice, zip down the back, and that kind of shape at the front. Now, I've actually recently found out it had broken. Now, the only reason I found out was because when I got back from Cornwall a week ago, so it's been a week and a day now since I got back from Cornwall, I basically rejigged my wardrobe around. Now, I was keeping all my handmade clothes in one section. I've got basically 2 wardrobes, and we put in 2 poles in each one. One is a bit narrower than the other, but the one bottom section I was keeping for all my handmade clothes, but it was actually getting a bit out of control, and so I've rejigged everything. So I've kind of put, strappy tops together but you know, longer sleeve tops together, shorts together, dresses together, whether they're handmade or not. But I've kind of ordered them in skinny strap, you know, to thicker, you know, tank strap, capped, sleeved, long sleeve, kind of going like that. Yes, I've kind of, you know, find things. But I discovered this had broken and I thought, am I going to wear it again? Well, I tried it on and it does look really nice. And maybe it's a bit dated now, I don't know. I'll show you what it's like. It's like it's a bit lacy look, and it's got lace at the bottom, but it has got a lining so you can't see through it, and a little split at the back. And oh, I've knocked off stick man, excuse that. Right, popping back there. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to save it because you never know. And it might be that long since I've worn it. Maybe I'll fancy wearing it. Now, I did consider wearing it to the wedding I went to Saturday, but I didn't end up wearing it. Well, one, it was broken. And, oh no, did I fix it? I did fix it in time, actually. But it was the shoes. I don't have any shoes now that go with this. So that was an issue. Actually, I ended up wearing the dress. I didn't have any photographs taken at this wedding on Saturday, actually, that I went to. But it was the dress that I wore to my auntie's wedding this year, the one that I altered. It was quite long, and I shortened it and re-added the ruffle and things. So I wore that dress again, and it was kind of good because the white shoes that I wore with it, the heels are quite low, and this wedding, it had like a I had actually a name tag, not a name tag, thing around my neck that you like have a festival, and it had a festival vibe, and it was lovely actually. Big teepee, the dance floor was in it, but it was a bit wonky, but most people for a lot of it was outside. They'd got the food was great and tasty. It was like a burger van to start with because of the festival vibe, and then and granted nice burgers, and later on pizza, like a wood stove pizza van kind of thing. Now I must admit, when I got there and it was the burgers, I wasn't really feeling like burger and chips. I think what it is, I was being a bit stubborn because I'd had a look at the website for this where they held the weddings, and it showed you the food. And I was like, I showed my husband and I was like, oh, look at the food. And you know, when you can see all this lovely, like, fresh salads and fruits and all these colours and everything. And I thought, oh gosh, you know, we're in for a treat, you know, this wedding. And the food was lovely, but it was burger and chips, right? So I ended up just having a few of my husband's chips and a couple of bites of his burger because I wasn't really feeling it. And then later on, I had a pizza when I was leaving. When I'd had a bit to drink, I had a pizza, and I did have Piriton, which does play havoc with me. But the plan was we wasn't going to drink. We was going to just stay for, like, you know, the speeches, the first dance and that kind of thing, and then go. But you know what it's like, I wasn't the one doing the driving, and then I get handed a few drinks, and then there you go. So we were back, we left at 8 o'clock actually, because the wedding was an early one, and I did crash when I come back. My husband was like, he stayed up, but I just had to go to bed because the Piriton and alcohol knocked me out. Anyway, I said I was going to go to sewing. Right, the strap had broke and there was no adjustable slider anymore. So I bet I've put off a load of people from my channel. They've probably pressed stop by now, haven't they? So thinking, we don't want to hear about this wedding. Anyway, so yeah, we've got these sliders. So I didn't have the slider. So basically, I've got this old bra that I think I must have washed it in the washing machine. It's got like a bit of shaping in it, but when you wear it, it looks like you've got a dent in your boob. So yeah, I don't wear it anymore. Don't know why I still kept it, in all honesty, but it come in handy because I basically cut the slider off it, and a bra that I never use, probably won't wear again. Actually, I might even cut a few bits off this. You know, I could cut these off, couldn't I? And I fixed my dress. Yeah, it was a bit mind-boggling trying to get it to work. But yeah, and the first time I sewed it, I'd twisted it, so I had to redo it again. But success! I've got a dress that you know, might have to have been chucked away if I didn't save it. Right, now I've put some notes here so don't forget things. Right, now in my last video you'll have seen that I bought a tin and it was to make a crochet mackerel, just a bit of a souvenir from my Cornwall holiday. Well, basically I made it, and I made it quite quickly actually. I've actually, even though I'm only filming today, I've actually crafted every single day, right? I started the mackerel Sunday, and that was after the wedding actually, so, you know, so a Sunday, finished it off Monday, and then I crocheted something else and completed it on Monday. It was Monday, yeah, it was. So yeah, so here he is, my mackerel. That's the tin that the supplies came in, and yeah, and that's him. So I have taken a photograph of him sitting on top of his tin, but I've still got a good bit of yarn left. I've still got all that. Well, that was only a small bit anyway. I've still got all of that and all of that. So I could make another mackerel if I feel like it, couldn't I? So that might be on the cards. I was even thinking, I know it might sound a bit like cruelty to fish, but I could put like a, you know, a stick with a bit of string, and you know, Otterline. I could do like a fisherman, unless I make a boy otter and make him a fisherman and give him a little fish on a stick. That would be quite nice, wouldn't it? So yeah, I really enjoyed making that. I know you think, oh, why do you want to crochet a mackerel? But I just felt like it. Just felt like it. And these are called the gourmet. It's Toft, and it's the gourmet crochet they're called, and there's quite a lot of them on the pattern. When you turn it over, there's a picture of all the tins, and there's loads. Some of them I don't think I'd be interested in making, and whether I'll buy one again I don't know, but I had the crochet bug then. And what else had happened is I decided to have a sort out, because I've got knitting and crochet things in my wardrobe. I still have, but I've got less now, and things at the side of my bed. Well, I've took up a shelf in my youngest son's wardrobe, which he's not very happy about actually. He didn't know about it until I mentioned it to my husband. He didn't even know, so I probably should have kept it quiet. But I've put a few things in there, so it's just my bedroom's a bit tidier, because I tend to sit and knit and crochet in the bedroom. So I was having a look. Oh, I should have brought it down. Now I knitted, I'll tell you what, when I come back to film I'll show you the hat. You've seen it before if you've watched my channel. I knitted a hat, and it was green. It was from the Molly Makes magazine, and it had like an animal print in a light pink and black with a pom-pom. Absolutely love it. But I didn't have a lot of the green yarn left, because the hat is primarily green, but I had quite a bit of the pink left and quite a bit of the black. So I got it into my head, I'm going to crochet a pumpkin, and I was thinking I'm going to do a pink with a black bit on the top, you know, the stalk, and then do a black one with a pink one. Well, I've ended up using all the pink, so I haven't ended up using the rest of the black, only a bit of it on this one. And here it is. Here's my crochet pumpkin, and I literally did this. So I finished my mackerel Monday evening and done this whole pumpkin, and it is in like a chunky yarn, so it did work up quick. And I must admit I didn't use a pattern, but I had a look on online and had a look at different styles. You can either crochet like them in a round, like round and round, like amigurumi, round and round and round and shape, and then you can run threads and kind of get the segments through. I've done like sewn ones like that, but this is basically, you work this in a flat piece, and you just work through like the back loops, and you basically keep turning. And then I gathered up the edge, and I probably made it a bit big. Trying to gather it up and close the hole wasn't that easy. And then I just basically kind of slip stitched around the top, and then just built it up a bit. And I just remembered how to make these. I just remembered, if you make a chain and then you work more than one stitch in each chain, it will curl. And I think I worked 2 double crochets into, that's in UK terms. If you was in America you'd call it a single crochet, but here it's double crochet, 2 double crochets in each chain, and then it twisted like this. So I think I'd like it a bit finer actually. Maybe if I'd slip stitched into 2 into each chain instead of double crocheted, maybe it'd be a bit thinner. Maybe I'll try that with like smaller pumpkins. But yeah, and I took a photograph of it in my bedroom on the windowsill. But yeah, I really enjoyed doing that, and I was so chuffed that it worked up so quickly. So that is what I did then. That was Monday evening. Then Tuesday evening, Wednesday evening, yeah, basically every night I've done some embroidery. Right, excuse me, just have a little sip of my coffee. I'm going to have to go in a few minutes. Right, I have got a book. Right now basically Sarah Peel, who does the lunar lapping, she does sell this on her website. I didn't buy it from there, but she does allow people to post pictures in her Facebook group of this rabbit, even though it's not her. I think she's Australian, the lady. Simone, I think her name is. Let me have a look. Simone Gooding. And she's foreign, but maybe she's not Australian, I don't know, but she's foreign. And yeah, and I'd love to make this. The only problem I've got is it's getting the right kind of felt for the actual rabbit. I don't think I'll have much of a problem with the other stuff, but I need to have a chat with people on Facebook and ask people who've made this, saying, because I'm thinking of ordering the felt from the Cool Crafting website, what size piece I need to buy to make Mama. And she has these glass doll eyes with hooks at the back, and yeah, it opens a whole new can of worms, doesn't it, getting supplies. I just wish I could buy a kit and make it. So that's not yet. That's something for the future. Right. Yeah, embroidery. Now I've done some more embroidery since I last showed you anything. I've now done all the embroidery of E for embroidery, but I haven't put the applique letter on yet, which is over there, which I have cut it out ready. I've started to work on this. Now this has took ages. My husband was watching football last night, and I literally spent the whole game doing that, and I've still got that whole thing to do there, and then that bit. So, but yeah, I could have spent the time in the craft room actually while he was watching football, but I just feel I just want to get on top of this because that's the most up-to-date one, and I'm going to be getting more, aren't I? I think the payment for the next month has gone out from Mandy, and normally when the payment comes out it's only another week, so I'm going to be getting more. So yeah, I just don't want to get that behind with them. So, but I did manage to nearly finish D. I think I showed you C, but I haven't done the quilt. You do some hand quilting on this, and it's a running stitch. I haven't done that yet, so that's why it's in my suitcase. And you haven't seen D like this. I've managed. I think you saw me doing blanket stitch on this D. Same again. I just need to do a running stitch. So it's basically hand quilting through all the layers, and then that one will be totally finished. So I've got those in my sewing suitcase. So when I've done the embroidery for this one, I'll probably, if I'm sitting upstairs, I'll do all the running stitches for these. But if I'm downstairs, I'll probably do the applique letters for these and start putting the backings on and things. So yeah, I suppose I could, if I wanted to kind of put this aside, maybe say the October, I could ignore the Mandy Shaw embroidery club for October, November, December if I wanted to. Just let those months build up, and do them over Christmas. Do you know, when Christmas is over and then I'm not doing any Christmas crafting, I've got a bit of time over Christmas, maybe I could catch up then. I've done that before. I've been hell-bent in January working on catching up on embroidery things, and I don't know if I'm going to do the embroidery club next year. I'm not entirely sure yet, so it might give me a bit of time to catch up on these. But yeah, so far I've been keeping, you know, by the time the next month comes, I've usually, well, sort of, I know I've not totally finished these, but yeah, I'm not too far behind. So now my mum has gave me something, right, I'll put that down here, which is very exciting. Well, I'm excited about it. A dress, another dress, because my mum always tries to give me dresses that we're not the same size, so I can't just get into them, but she tries to bring loads around. I say, Mum, I can't store it all. So we've on an agreement, Mum can bring one dress round that she doesn't want anymore, and when I've made things with it, I can have another one. So it's kind of like that. And this is it. It's basically like a tank top, but it's maxi, and it's lovely, isn't it? So I have got an idea. Now initially I thought, oh, shall I make a t-shirt, one of those free t-shirts that I haven't made yet, but I'm thinking of doing something quite exciting if I've got room with the fabric, that old story. Now there is a dress by Named Clothing. Is it Named Clothing? Breaking the Pattern. Whoa, sorry. This book, and there's something called the Kilo Wrap Dress. I've never made it, and it's a jersey dress, right? Maybe I'll find it. I'll tell you what, I haven't got a lot of time to talk now. I have got other things to show you, but I've got to go and get my son, so I'm going to leave this for now. I'm really sorry, and I'll either pop back later or pop back another day, and I'll show you the other things. And I've won something as well that I want to show you, so yeah, and I'll show you the Kilo Wrap Dress. You'll probably already know about it, but if you don't, you might be interested. So yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Bye. Right, welcome back. Do you know what? I'm an idiot, right? I'm an absolute idiot. Now, it's the next day now. So I left you yesterday evening and I was going to get my middle son, but it was a little bit crazy because I've had 3 different pickups to do. I've had to pick my youngest from school, then my middle from college, because he finished later on Thursdays for some reason. And then my eldest wanted to be picked up at 7:30, but then he works at Starbucks, but they've had delivery problems, so they decided to close the branch down like an hour early, so I was picking up at 6:30. Yeah, it's all just been, and basically they're kind of like everywhere we've had to pick up, it's kind of like in the middle of our town, and just slightly the other side of our town. So yeah, it's a bit, you know, you're looking at 20 minutes there, 20 minutes back for most of them, and then maybe a bit longer for my eldest. And so yeah, it's all been a little bit crazy at the moment. But yes, I am an idiot, because you know, I was telling you about the Kilo Wrap Dress, and I was digging out this book. I was convinced that the Kilo Wrap Dress was in this book, right? And it was by Named Clothing, right? But this is what confused me. It says Breaking the Pattern by Sarah and Laura Hutta, is it? I don't know. Huhta. They're obviously foreign. I don't think these are anything to do with Named Clothing. I don't know, are they? I'm being really dim here. But the Kilo Wrap Dress doesn't appear to be in this book. But I think I know why I thought that, right? Now, have a look at this. Now, how gorgeous is this dress in this book? Now, I've never made anything out of this book, right? What is this dress called? Now, there's all various versions of it. What do they call it? The Rusker Knit Knot Dress and T-shirt and tunic. So it's basically one does all. So there's that version. And I think it's suggesting you can add this into it, and you can do obviously different lengths, because that one looked longer, didn't it? Yes, I don't know will I be able to make this? I don't know what it is. I'm not going to make this dress, but what I was thinking of doing is, because the dress I've got is maxi, lopping off the bottom of it, making these things with the bit I've cut off, and basically undoing the side seam of the dress, because I'd have the pattern pieces, wouldn't I, for those? So I don't know if this dress is in 2 pieces. I'm not quite sure actually, but let me. I want to put something in there so I don't lose the page. Yeah, so because this dress is too wide, I've tried it on and it's very gapy around here, so I'm going to need to take some off it, but that means I've got to cut the side, haven't I? So I could lock, because I don't do maxi, I'm too short, it just doesn't suit me. I don't think it suits me, it's just not me. So cut that off under the side seam, and then I'd have the pieces, and then I've got a shorter, not too short, I have got a bit of habit, I do like mini dresses and mini skirts, it's so me, right? It's just my kind of style. But sometimes you may have seen I'll go a little bit overboard, I get a bit too excited and I lock too much off, or sometimes it's not my fault, it's because I was cutting the bottom of that dress off and I needed a bit of fabric. I didn't end up wearing that boob tube as a beach cover up, but I forgot to take it away with me, didn't I? But I've tried it on and it is short, but it does look nice. So yeah, I will wear it on a holiday, or in the garden if I get a sunny day, but I don't think we're going to get much now. And I'm so annoyed because my husband did a base for decking down at the garden room like quite a while ago now, and he ordered composite decking, because we've got wooden decking down the other end and it's disgusting now, but he ordered composite decking for down by the garden room, and we were given a date. It's been put back and put back and put back, and actually we thought we were going to get it last week. We thought, oh, we might get a little bit of enjoyment on the decking. Wow, now they've put it back another month, so we're going to have this lovely brand new decking, and it's all going to be a winter on it. Hello. Sorry about that. We're having internet problems at home. You know, when you're on Wi-Fi but you're just not getting anything, and your phone keeps going on to 4G. We're having that kind of problem. So my husband, we've tried restarting the router and things, so he's on the phone to them now, and he just had to come in and mess. I think he's turned the router off and back on again, but he's in a queue now, and so he might have to come back. So if I have to stop again, I'm sorry. What was I saying? What was we talking about? So the dress, yeah, that's what my plan is. And oh yeah, I was on about the decking, wasn't I? Yeah, so we basically, he's going to get the decking down, and it's going to be there all winter now. So I'm hoping it still looks as nice when the spring comes, when it's been, weathered all winter and we haven't even got to use it. Yes, it's a bit unfortunate, isn't it? So I'm going to show you what I won in a moment, right? You might already know if you follow me on social media, because I did share it on my stories on Instagram, and it does go over to Periwinkle Cottage Crafts, the stories there. So anyway, right, now I've done a little bit of work on my embroidery. So last night what I've done is I've marked in a disappearing pen see this blue round here, that I've used like a friction type pen. It's not friction, is it? Oh, it is friction. These disappear with heat, right? Just so, because I'm a bit of a perfectionist, I've marked out my running stitch lines all the way around. I've done a knot and I've dug in, I've made the knot disappear inside, and I've done one stitch. So that I'll be working on in the evening. That's what I'll be doing next in the evening. I managed to finish C. I haven't ironed my marks off yet. So I actually decided to go off the marks I made because I wasn't all that happy. But yeah, I've just got to iron that and then the marks will disappear. So that was C is totally finished now. So that's, where are we, September. would that have been the July? Those might have been the July blocks, and I'm still not totally finished, but I'm not doing too bad, am I? And you knew I'd finished the embroidery on the E because I showed you, but last night I finished all the embroidery on F for fat quarters. I've been calling this a Christmas present, but then I thought, what is that to do with Christmas? It's sewing. So I managed to finish the embroidery last night. So the next stage now is to iron on my applique letters, which they're already fused and cut out. I just need to iron them onto here, and then I've got to do the blanket stitching on the machine, and then obviously I've got to wad them, back them, and then do what I've done to these, do running stitches around the letters. So they look a bit naff, don't they, when they're like this? But by the time you've done everything you should, they start looking a little bit better. So so that's where I am at. So these have got to stay in here now because these are machine work and ironing. And I've got to iron those marks off, but that's got to go back upstairs in my suitcase to work on. Right, and what I do is, this is a little tip for you ladies that do the embroidery. I like to keep the iron-on transfer in my sewing suitcase, right? Because sometimes the iron-on doesn't look perfect, and you can't always make, like for example, I must admit I didn't do it with this one, but see there's two little circles there, but it just looked like a blob and I couldn't really make it out. So I don't know what I ended up doing actually on that one. I think I just guessed it, what it should look like, because I didn't think, I don't think it really mattered because it was so small. But sometimes it looks a bit muffled and you can't really see what you're supposed to be stitching. So I find it quite useful keeping the transfer in my sewing suitcase so I can refer back to it, you know. And if these do disappear eventually, so if they did disappear, you could put it, say get it on your window, or if you've got a light box, put it underneath. So what's that one? Get your iron-on transfer upside down, put it on your light box or your window and put it on top, and then you can see where the lines have disappeared and retrace them, or you can just eyeball it and things. So that is what is going on at the moment. So what's I've got, I'll put those there and put those there. So that's what I'm thinking now. If that's all I've got to do, mind you, if I get those done, I'll have more hand stitching to do. But it just means if I run out of things to do in the evening because something isn't ready from down here, I can work on something else, can't I? So some other plans, you know. So anyway, the thing I have won. Now this is so exciting. I don't know how long this video is now because I've had to stop and start. But this arrived yesterday. Now I've took the external packaging off, but it's in here and it's... Ta-da! You probably can't see what it is. I haven't got this out yet. This is me seeing it for the first time. So it's hemline, and it's basically a hemline sewing advent calendar. It's got a 24-piece sewing kit in it basically, and it does tell you the kind of things that you get inside. But over Christmas, right, I'll reveal what is in this. So you know, you can kind of see if you don't fancy having one of these this year, you could maybe have one next year if you like the kind of things in it. Now I have won this through Little Miss, right, hang on, bear with me, let me just check on Instagram and I'll get back to you, bear with me. Right, sorry about that. I got a bit distracted then. Obviously, I've got a lot of people to reply to on Instagram and things. A lot has been going on. I've been so busy. I went on to my Facebook yesterday, and because I posted about my son at college on Instagram, it went over to my Periwinkle Cottage Crafts, and I got loads of messages that I hadn't seen, and now I've just gone to Instagram and it's the same. So I've got a bit of catching up to do because I like to reply to people, because you know, I don't like to be ignored, you know. Sometimes I feel a bit downhearted actually when I've commented a lot on somebody's Instagram, and sometimes you're like the only person that's even commented on it and they never reply to you, and in the end I just get bit fed up of being ignored. I like to reply to everybody, but it can be a little bit crazy sometimes. So basically the they are a craft shop, right? And they've got an Instagram page called Little Miss Sewn 2017. So that's how it's spelled. Little Miss Sewn, and then she might be called So and So. I think it might be that she's called Little Miss So and So 2017, but that's how it looks like it's spelled. It's Sewn, SEWN, So 2017. I'll show you. I'm sorry, it comes up a little bit weird on here. I just wanted to give them a shout out because that's, excuse the state of this iPad. That's their page. I wanted to give them a good shout out because obviously they've been kind enough. You know, I've won this and they've sent it to me and it's at their expense. So you know what I'm saying? I wanted to give them a shout out. And the lady that I think that must be the owner. That's what she tagged me in. That must be the lady behind the page. So I must admit, I don't think I've shopped with them before. Well, I know that I do buy things, but as might have seen, I do try and repurpose things I've already got and things, you know. I'm not totally buying fabric, you know. I do a bit of different things. So... and I think they're on Facebook as well. When I find out how the Facebook page, it might be called Little Miss So and So on Facebook. Maybe have a look at that. So thank you if you watch my channel, Little Miss So and So, if that's how you say it. Thank you so much. I'm so happy, and it's going to be really exciting to share this with my viewers over Christmas. So thank you so much. Right. So yeah, I'll have to put that. So hopefully I don't lose it. I'm terrible at losing things. When I've shown things in my video, my iPad just fell out of my holder then. I'll just pop that there. So yeah, one other thing, right, I want to show you is I made a tiny start to Polly Dolly Doodah, right? But I did have a little bit of an issue. Right, what it is, you start off with this polyester and you make a head ball. And this is the pattern, right? Now, in the pattern book, it tells you you've got to add seam allowances to all the body pieces and not the dress pieces. But there was a picture of all the pieces, but it didn't include this head ball. Now, this head ball, you're not going to see it. You make basically 6 of these things, sew them together, and then stuff it, and you're going to be putting layer upon layer of things on this head. The head is going to be the most work, basically. So I asked on the Facebook page, do you add seam allowance to this? Now, I found out the answer to that is yes, but what Cheryl does is she cuts this out on the line, then she draws around it on the fabric 6 times, so she's got a stitch line, and then cuts seam allowance around it. But I couldn't be bothered with that, in all honesty. So I didn't know she did that at the time, but I just went ahead and I cut this out with a seam, 1/4 inch seam, and I've cut all my pieces out, right? So I've cut them out in a 4 and a 2, so I've got 6 now. I've pinned 2 of each together now, right? Now what I've done, the reason she does it like that is because she wants you sewing on that stitch line, but I'm confident with my seam allowances, so I didn't feel like I needed to put the stitch line on to sew on top of it. But what I have done is I've made pivot points on the corners. Is that one gone? Did I not do that one? Yeah, there's one I haven't done. Right, yeah. Basically, on that one and that one, I've put pivot points on the end so I know where to stop, basically. And I've done one. Why haven't I done that one? I don't know. I haven't done one on the one end of them. But, actually, I'll do that now while I think about it. I'll cut it out so I don't forget. Right, that's what I use. I just put that on 1/4 and then I've put it on the edge and done a line, and then done it on the other one and done a line, and then you know where it crosses over, that's going to be where you stop, and when you'll you know, the pivot point kind of thing, but you'll stop at that because you're adding it to the other one, la-di-da, whatever. So that as far as I got. But right, I did have a little bit of trouble. I posted a picture of this on the page saying, do I have to add seam allowance to this? Right, if I can get that photograph I posted, I'll put it on. And I've got grief in the group. You can't post pictures of patterns and whatever. Well, one of them, she was quite nice about it, you know. I was like, oh, okay, thanks for letting me know. I won't post a picture of a pattern again. Like how anybody could make this doll by just looking at this. If you saw the involvement in this doll, it's just, oh my goodness, right? It's just, the head is pages and pages and pages, right? So what anyone could make of that, I do not know, right? And but then somebody put a comment, you can delete your post with the picture, you know. Right, and do you know what, I did ignore them. I just thought, I'm not even going to reply. I just thought, if you're going to get upset, if you, obviously you viewers at home, you don't really know, but if you could see this pattern book and see how involved it is, pages and pages, right? Let's have a look. There's 48 pages of this style. The head is probably half the book, actually. Do you know, you're still on the head up to page 37. That's how many pages just for the head, right? So what someone online is going to get from seeing that, I don't know. So yeah, but you do get something. I thought, do you know what I say? If the designer, Cheryl, isn't happy with the post, doesn't like that I've shared a picture of that, I thought she can delete it, can't she? There you go. So, you know, like, I don't need the answer anymore. I know the answer. So I'm being a little bit stubborn leaving the post there. But it's just people get my back up sometimes. And I kind of like, you know, I dig my heels in a little bit, you know. I can be a little bit stubborn sometimes, you know, when people... I'm quite nice, but if people, you know, rile me, I can sort of dig my heels in a little bit. So anyway, right, I'm going to go now, and I don't know how long this is, but I will come back. I'm sure that this video hasn't added up to an hour, and when I've kind of think, wow, I've got a bit more to show you that I've done, I'll come back and show you, and I'll finalise the video. So thank you so much for joining me so far, and I'll see you in the next bit. Bye. Welcome to the final part of my videos. It is now Sunday, and it is 25 to 10 in the morning, and the date is the 19th of September. Now, I haven't got a lot of time to talk to you because I've got to go and pick my eldest son up from his girlfriend's to get him to work. He hasn't got to be there till, I think it's about 11ish, but I want to try and get back to see Mandy Shaw. Mandy Shaw's on Create and Craft. She's already had one show this morning. She's going to be back on. So I thought if I get him there a little bit early, which he said he doesn't mind, I can get back and watch Mandy for a second show and watch it live. So that's exciting, isn't it? Actually, I've got something. I can see wadding here in shot. Something. It's not craft related. Well, it depends on how you look at it. If you're into pottery craft, it is. But something my mum and dad have bought me. Now, they saw this in the sale at John Lewis, and I think it might be Betty inspired. If you watch my recent videos, you'll know that I lost a chicken, Betty, to a fox in the day. It was really been quite upsetting, and she was a white chicken. I know this looks like a white Sussex, or like a light Sussex, you know, type of chicken. I'm a bit of a chicken geek, you know, I know a few of the fancy breeds, but I've not had a drink out of it yet. It's just had a little a rotary cutter sitting inside it at the moment, but my mum and dad said they don't know how good it is to drink out of because it's got a little lip all the way around it in there. So yeah, I might have a go at drinking out of it, but it's big, isn't it? Look, I don't think my coffees are that big, even though I do like a big cup. Now, I had a look at the last pieces of video. I didn't mention in the start of this video, I was wearing one of my sunny dresses, the sunny dress by the Friday Pattern Company. Excuse me, I've got fluff on my nose, probably from that wadding. And I've got another one of those on this morning. You've seen one of these recently. I've got two of these. This is the one where I like the neck on it. The neck went on perfectly, but it's a bit short. But do you know the one I've showed you? It's got like a hem that kind of goes like this. This is the straight hem, but it is a bit short. And I've got can you see? Hang on, let me have a look. Look, I've got a big bruise on my leg, so I've got to be careful. I've got to pull it down. But I'm only going to be driving in the car, picking up my son, dropping him to work, and driving home. Yes, darling.
Right, I'm going in by the
Yeah, all right. My key's on the radiator cover. I'll see you in a bit. All right.
Yeah, seen a bit. So,
okay. All right. Oh, right. Okay. You're stopping for a while. Yeah.
Wow, I'll just have a cup of tea with him.
Yeah. All right. Okay then,
Right,
darling.
so
Yeah. All right then. I'll see you. Bye. Sorry about that. I might have had to cuss a little bit out then. My husband is the garden basically is looking like a jungle because the lawnmower broke. I did show you in a previous video. We dropped the lawnmower off to this really pretty cottage and that guy's repaired it, but we couldn't get hold of him. But my parents-in-laws have got hold of him and they've picked up the lawnmower. My husband's going to pick it up from there now. So actually, on about the garden, I took a photograph of one of my chickens, Daisy, and she just jumped on my lap in the garden. I was sitting out there the other evening. It wasn't sunny or anything, but it was mild enough to sit out there, but it was just nice because I try and supervise the chickens when I let them out now. I don't let them free range all day every day since the fox incident. So yes, I was sitting there and she just hopped onto my lap and my husband took a photo. I thought that was rather cute, but I must admit, like I will have popped it on the screen for you, but I did really crop it down. Actually, I'll try and give you the real version, the first version before it was cropped. And the reason I cropped it is because look at the garden, it's like a jungle because obviously the grass is in a terrible state, not being mowed for however long because of the lawnmower. But my husband's going to collect it now, so we'll have a trim grass hopefully. I don't know if that will be today because we're going to Ackers. It's like a ski slope thing this afternoon. And we're not skiing, we're going right down on rubber rings, so we're doing that later. So yeah, I don't know if he'll be getting a chance to do the mowing. Anyway, so back to sewing. Now, sorry, I'm always getting hairs all over my face. I have just gotten ready actually, so yeah, getting hairs all over my face. Now, I've been showing you these blocks I've been working on from Mandy Shaw. Oh, actually, I had a look at my last piece of video. It was really quite negative, wasn't it? I was complaining about people moaning at me about showing a picture with that pattern on. Well, yes, the post got deleted. It said I broke the rules, so yes, I've only posted in this new group once and I've already broken the rules and I've been reprimanded by having my post deleted. Never mind. Do you know when you just join a group and this is your first experience in it, it does make you think, oh, do I really want to stay here? But if I leave and I'm cutting my nose off to spite my face, I don't know. How would you feel? Anyway, so you've seen A already. I've finished it, haven't I? Yeah. And you've seen B and C. Did you see? I don't think you've seen D totally finished. I've done all the running stitch now around D. It's just like a hand quilting things, the dressmaking. So it's A for applique, B for buttons, C for cotton. As you can see, it's all sewing themed. D for dressmaking. E. Oh, hang on. Bear in mind. Use mobile. Are you still there? Sorry, we're having internet troubles at the moment, so I'm really sorry if I've been quite late at replying to people. Say if it's like Facebook, Instagram, even WhatsApp. sometimes when the internet comes back, I've got all these messages and I just didn't know I had them. Since it's been a bit crazy, rather than being able to reply to people in dribs and drabs, I've been like bombarded because I had a lot of comments on my son's post. So thank you so much for all the lovely comments about my son going to college, and it's going really well. He's been there 3 days so far, and he's loving it. So far, so good, you know. I know we've just got to keep positive and hope it continues that way. So yeah, it's all going well at the moment. So, you know, so I've finished off the E for embroidery. And just to let you know, it's going a little bit better this fall. I'm not 100% sold on this fold over method, right? It's basically you use your backing fabric to do your binding. Now the first one, did I do that? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did do that on the first one. Maybe I wasn't keen on it. I'm sure. Oh, that was it. Just on the B, I did a separate binding because I wasn't feeling this fold over method. However, on C and D, I've just done what I was supposed to. E and F. I think the C I wasn't all that happy with because I'd put some glue on it, some Alma's, because this is quite good actually for it. Basically, this is just Alma's school glue, and I've got this special tip that I got from America. It's not behaving right. That metal bit should stay in, so it is playing up this tip now, but I have had it years. It will wash away, but you can use it to stick fabric down, iron it in place. If you're not happy, pull it off, but it will just hold it until you've stitched it, so that's quite useful. But it looks, I can actually see bits of glue come through. I think it's because I used it without the fine, see that's a fine tip. The fine tips come out. I used to squeeze the glue with the fine tips, so I've been squeezing it out of there and it comes out too thick. But if the tip's working, it works really well. So I've just, with the others, I've pinned them. I've pinned all the edges. The only thing I'd say on E, look at the corner. It's not perfect. It didn't line up perfectly, but it's so minute. I'm not really that fussed about it really, but yeah, I'm really excited. I've caught up. I have with the Secret Society. I don't know if there's any other project. Oh, we did get a bee embroidery thing to do, all different colours this month, the most recent month, but because I'm thinking, oh, now I'm feeling very like it's coming into autumn, thinking about Christmas, I feel like bees for me are more of a summery thing, so I'm not going to be doing that maybe till next year. And yeah, I don't know what I'm going to be working on next actually, because this is what I've finished. I've been hell-bent on finishing these, so I've been in here doing them, upstairs in the evening doing them. I've just been hell-bent doing these till last night. I haven't quite thought. Maybe I'll do a bit more work on Polly, but yeah, maybe a bit of dressmaking and things. So maybe I'll look at doing that dress with that, pinching some patterns out of here. So, but bearing in mind again, it's a bit. Well, I suppose I'm wearing this at the moment. The weather's quite mild, so I'm going to keep my legs out for as long as I can. Because I'm in jeans basically so many months in the year. I just try and stay out of my jeans for as long as I can really, and then have my legs out. But yeah, but I suppose what was quite nice last winter, I'd made a few jersey sweater dresses and I was wearing them with tights, which was quite nice. You know, when you just think, I don't want to wear jeans every day of my life, and I don't think I own any trousers. I don't know, they're a bit, maybe trousers are a tad bit too smart for my life. I don't think I do anything formal enough really to wear a pair of trousers that are not casual kind of thing. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me for this week's Sew and Tell. I really hope you've seen something of interest, and next week I guess I'll be showing you, I'm guessing that I might have had a delivery from Mandy Shaw, and the next Secret Society, and I think the Poppy Club might be starting, but that might be the video the week after, because I think we always get the projects on Saturdays, and it's a week, that's like a week away, isn't it? So yeah, we'll just see what happens, but I'll definitely have more to show you. Anything basically craft of interest that, you know, I think you might be interested in, I will bring to you. So thank you so much for joining me this week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.